So, it's 2024, and the question on everyone's mind, is Kazuha still relevant in the Genshin meta? Do you even need him if you've already got other Anemo units like Venti or Sucrose? Is he still the ultimate support? Or has his time in the spotlight faded? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn your Kazuha into an unstoppable elemental reaction machine. Welcome, travelers, to the ultimate Kazuha guide, your one-stop shop for maximizing the potential of our wandering samurai. He's not just any Anemo support. He shreds enemy defenses and boosts your team's damage like no other. Today, we'll break down Kazuha's playstyle, artifacts, weapons, talents, constellations, and best team comps. But most importantly, we'll tackle the burning question: is Kazuha still relevant in the 2024 meta? Do you still need him if you've got Venti or Sucrose? Let's dive in! Kazuha shines as an Anemo support, offering massive crowd control, elemental resistance shred, and elemental damage boosts. His elemental skill, Chihayaburu, launches enemies into the air, triggering swirl reactions with pyro, hydro, cryo, or electro elements. And what really sets Kazuha apart? His plunging attack, which deals extra AoE Anemo damage mid-air after his skill. But the real game changer? Kazuha's elemental burst, Kazuha Slash. This creates a huge AoE field that deals continuous Anemo damage and triggers swirl reactions with infused elements. This burst makes Kazuha indispensable for reaction-heavy teams that rely on Vaporize, Melt, or Electrocharged. It's a masterpiece of destruction. Alright, now let's talk about gearing up your Kazuha for maximum damage output now. Which talents should you prioritize? It's simpler than you think. 1. Elemental skill, Chihayaburu. This should be your first priority for its quick energy generation and swirl reactions. 2. Elemental burst, Kazuha Slash. This is your big AoE damage skill, so level this next for devastating reactions. 3. Normal attacks. Don't bother if you're building support Kazuha, but if you want to experiment with DPS Kazuha, hit that subscribe button for a future guide on that. The best artifact set for Kazuha is the Viridescent Veneerer, 4-piece. Why? It increases swirl DMG by 60% and reduces enemies' elemental resistance by 40% to the element infused by swirl. No other set even comes close to this for support potential. For artifact stats, put EM in the sands if you're using an energy recharge weapon, and ER if you're using an elemental mastery weapon. Now put elemental mastery in Goblet, and last but not the least, put elemental mastery in Circlet or Crit DMG if you want to spice things up with a hybrid build. Focus on substats like elemental mastery, energy recharge, and crit rate DMG. And here's a pro tip: aim for at least 200% energy recharge to keep his burst ready every rotation. Now, on to weapons. Meanwhile, feel free to give this video a like if you're hyped for what's next. Kazuha's best-in-slot weapon is the Freedom Sworn. This 5-star sword boosts elemental mastery and buffs your team's attack after triggering an elemental reaction. Perfect, right? But don't worry if you don't have it. There are fantastic alternatives. Iron Sting, a craftable F2 TP option I personally love, gives Kazuha more elemental mastery, enhancing his swirl damage. Sacrificial Sword lets you use his elemental skill twice, meaning faster energy generation for his burst. Favonius Sword is an amazing pick too. It boosts energy recharge for Kazuha and his entire team. Let's quickly break down Kazuha's constellations. C1 reduces elemental skill cooldown, more swirls. C2 increases elemental mastery for your whole team, making him irreplaceable in reaction teams. C3 and C5 boost skill and burst levels for extra damage. C4 regenerates energy for your team. Awesome utility. C6 turns Kazuha into a DPS monster, letting him double dip on elemental mastery buffs. C2 is the sweet spot for team buffs, but if you're looking for insane DPS potential, C6 is the dream. Let's talk team comps. And trust me, Kazuha fits in everywhere. As long as your team isn't geo-heavy, Kazuha will excel. Here are some of his top-tier teams. 1. National Team, Kazuha, Xiangling, Xinkyu, Bennett. Kazuha's grouping and swirl supercharge this vaporize, melt team's damage. 2nd Hyperbloom Team, Kazuha, Nahida, Yelan, Raiden. His swirl boosts Hyperbloom damage, making him an essential enabler. 3. Monopyro, Kazuha, Hu Tao, Xiangling, Bennett. Swirl turns this team into burst damage machines. And remember, you can slot Kazuha into almost any team as long as it's not Geo. He's that versatile. Alright, now the big question. How does Kazuha stack up in 2024 compared to other Anemo characters? Let's face it, Venti is awesome at crowd control, but he struggles against bigger enemies. Sucrose is great for sharing elemental mastery, but Kazuha takes it to the next level with his team-wide elemental buffs and resistance shredding. So, is Kazuha still meta? Absolutely! He remains one of the best supports in the game, especially for elemental reaction teams. No other Anemo character can match his versatility, control, and consistent damage boosts. Kazuha is still a king. So, the verdict: invest in Kazuha. If you're running elemental reaction teams or need a flexible support for almost any comp, Kazuha is a no-brainer. His versatility and team-wide buffs keep him at the top of the meta, even in 2024. Now tell me in the comments, do you prefer Kazuha? Or are you Team Sucrose, Venti, or... Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Genshin Impact guides, just like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.